Kenta slid into the back seat, loosening his tie with a sharp tug. The promotion he'd sacrificed everything for had gone to someone else. He barely glanced at the driver, a woman with honey blonde hair half up in a denim jacket, and recited his address before shutting his eyes. 10 minutes later, he opened his eyes and watched his exit slide past. He tensed but bit his tongue. Probably just a mistake.
Hey, you just missed my exit again. Are you lost?
The driver didn't answer. She signaled and pulled onto a dark side street. The sudden stop making Kenta's stomach clench.
Kenta? That's your name, isn't it?
How do you know my name?
Instead, she opened the glove compartment and pulled out something small, worn, and leather. Her hand trembled as she held it toward him.
You dropped this. I kept it.
That wallet. I lost it 3 years ago. How could she have it?
With trembling fingers, Hana flipped open the wallet. Inside, a faded photograph and a yellowed folded note.
That photo. It's my mother. The only picture I had of her from those years.
I found this 3 years ago on a train platform. I looked for you. But your ID address didn't match anywhere.
And the note. Did you read it?
I did. I am sorry. I know it was private.
Kenta lifted the folded note from the wallet. His hands were shaking. 3 years of grief sat folded in his palm.
My mother's last words. The only copy. And a stranger read them. Why did you keep it? For 3 years. Why not throw it away?
It just seemed important. I couldn't. I kept thinking I'd find you someday.
Kenta stared at the note in his hands, unable to open it. The woman in the front seat was crying, and he didn't know what to say.
I barely remember that time. Tell me exactly what happened that day.
You were on the platform, clutching your chest. You looked like you couldn't breathe.
3 years ago, Kenta's career had just imploded. That afternoon, he'd been told his position was being eliminated. On the train platform, his chest tightened. He stumbled, gasping for air, and the wallet slipped from his hand without him noticing. Among the rushing commuters, a young woman with honey blonde hair saw the wallet fall. Hana picked it up. She opened it, hoping to find contact info, but the address was outdated. Then she saw the note. She read the words. A mother's last message, written in fading ink. And for reasons she couldn't explain, she wept. She pressed the note to her chest and cried, not just for the stranger she couldn't find, but for a loneliness she'd never spoken aloud.
What did it do to you? That note.
It helped. That's all I can say. Please don't ask me anything else.
You read my mother's last words. It helped isn't enough. I need to know why you really kept it.
I tried to return it. The address on your ID was old. I even asked around the platform for weeks.
But you didn't throw it away. You kept it for 3 years. That's not just a lost wallet. She's hiding something. No one keeps a stranger's note for 3 years without a reason.
The silence that followed was worse than the questions. A cold, loaded quiet that filled the car.
It felt wrong to throw it away. Like I'd be erasing someone's last connection.
I am grateful you kept it. I am. But something about this doesn't sit right.
Without another word, Hana put the car in gear and pulled back onto the empty street. The car moved through the dark, the distance between them growing larger than the back seat.
I should be relieved. But all I feel is that she's still holding on to something.
The car rolled to a stop in front of Kenta's apartment building. The ride was over, but the silence wasn't.
Here, my number. If you want to talk about the wallet, I can explain more.
Fine. Thanks.
He stepped out into the cool night air, the wallet heavy in his pocket. Hana watched him go, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. Inside his apartment, he didn't bother with lights. The tie hit the floor, and he sank onto the sofa. He opened the wallet again. His mother's face looked back at him, and the note lay folded, waiting. He unfolded it slowly, the ink blurring under fresh tears. the words he'd memorized long ago.
She read this over and over. Why did she cling to my mother's last words like they were hers?
His phone sat on the coffee table, Hana's number on a torn scrap of paper beside it.
Call her or walk away. Either choice feels like a betrayal.
3 nights later, Kenta stared at the torn paper until the ink blurred. Then he called.
Kenta? I didn't think you'd call.
Why did that note mean so much to you? I need to hear it all.
3 years ago, I was in a very dark place. That note felt like a message meant for me. It kept me company.
Kept her company. Like it was hers. Those words belonged to me first.
I was suicidal? That note was the only thing that gave me hope. I read it every day.
That note was my mother's last message to me, not a message for anyone else.
I know, I am so sorry, but it saved me. I didn't know whose mother she was, but her love pulled me through.
Meet me for coffee. We can't do this over the phone.
On the other end, Hana pressed her phone to her chest, the line now silent. She'd carried his mother's love for 3 years, and now she had to explain it to her son. 2 days later, at a tiny coffee shop, they sat across from each other. The wallet lay open between them, the note still inside.
After I found it, I made a copy and put it in this little frame. I looked at it every single day.
She kept it like a shrine. My mother's words framed like a photograph.
Kenta reached into the wallet and lifted out the original yellowed note. His hands were steadier this time.
I will always be with you. Love, Mom.
The words hung in the air, fragile and enormous. For a long moment, neither of them breathed. Then Hana's hand closed over his on the table, warm, trembling.
Now you know why I couldn't throw it away. It wasn't just yours anymore.
I should be angry, but all I feel is grateful and lost.
They stayed like that until their coffee went cold. 2 strangers bound by a dead woman's love. Weeks later, they met often. Parks, dinners, walks. They laughed, but an unspoken shadow trailed them.
She laughs. She holds my hand. But is she seeing me, or just her savior's son?
Kenta, you are staring at your plate again. You've been somewhere else all evening.
I am fine. Work's been hectic. Nothing to worry about.
The lie hung between them, thin as glass. Hana set down her fork, her eyes suddenly sharp.
You've been distant for weeks. Is it something I did? Something about the note?
There it is. Always the note. Can't we have one conversation without it?
He couldn't meet her eyes. The word note had become a splinter under his skin.
I don't know, Hana. I am just trying to figure out what we are.
Hana pulled back, hurt, flashing across her face, the first crack in a fragile thing.
Maybe we're only together because of my mother's death. That's what this is.
What are you saying? That I only care about you because of the note?
You saved the note, not me. You are attached to her memory, not who I am.
I shared my lowest point with you. I told you I was suicidal, and you are reducing it to a footnote.
Every conversation circles back to the note. I can't breathe without feeling like I am just its keeper.
It's the reason we met. But I am not just that. I am here, Kenta. I am a person.
Then prove it. Tell me you'd stay if the note had never existed.
You are asking me to erase the thing that saved me. You don't see me at all.
She turned and walked away, her footsteps sharp on the pavement, each one a punctuation mark.
She's gone, and I don't know if I was wrong or right.
Hana stumbled into her apartment, hands shaking. She pulled an old diary from the drawer and opened it to a marked page.
The note from the wallet. I read it every day. It's the only voice that tells me I am not completely alone.
She had written about it as her only friend, the only proof that love existed.
Why couldn't I tell him? Because I was ashamed that I needed a stranger's mother more than my own.
Across the city, Kenta sat on his sofa, the note open in his lap.
I will always be with you. Love, Mom. My mother wrote these words to give love, not for me to hoard.
He understood then. The note had already loved someone who needed it. His mother would have been proud.
I need to tell Hana. She's not just the note's keeper. She's who it kept alive.
They sat on opposite sides of the city, both holding the same words, both finally understanding. He drove across the city at dawn, the note folded in his pocket, his heart pounding. He stopped outside Hana's apartment and waited, watching her door like a man who'd found water.
Kenta? What are you doing here?
I was wrong. I was so afraid of losing her again that I couldn't see what was in front of me. That note wasn't just hers. By sharing it, you let her love live on. You are not the note's keeper. You are the person it kept alive. I am grateful.
Tears fell down Hana's cheeks. She didn't speak, but she didn't turn away.
I want to build something with you that has nothing to do with her death. Something just ours.
She opened her mouth, but no sound came. The words were still forming. In the cool morning light, they stood on opposite sides of the doorway, the space between them filled with everything unsaid.
I was so scared you'd think I was pathetic for clinging to a stranger's note like a lifeline. But I love you, Kenta. Not because of the note, because you came back.
I was scared too. Thank you for protecting her words for 3 years.
He reached into his coat and pulled out a small frame, a copy of her note, and beneath it, his own handwritten letter.
This is my promise. I'll love you, for you, not for what you saved.
Hana took the frame, her fingers tracing the ink, tears falling onto the glass. They fell into each other's arms. The frame pressed between them, two broken people finally whole.
We're not just two people clutching the same note. We're something new.
Then, let's build it. Not from grief, from us.
And in the quiet of that morning, the note stopped being a relic of loss and became a foundation. In the months that followed, they built a life from small things, shared groceries, lazy Sundays, conversations that had nothing to do with loss. They visited her grave together. Hana left a copy of the note and whispered a thank you that needed no words.
I stopped seeing the note as a condition. It's become a blessing.
Through every season, they walked side by side. The note, a quiet companion rather than a weight. He found a ring, its inner band etched with her words. I will always be with you.
I never thought I'd look forward to mornings like this.
Me neither. But here you are, burning pancakes again.
He considered another frame, a new copy, this time, with his own promise to love her for her. For the first time, Kenta imagined a future that started with a question he was finally ready to ask. He decided to ask at the place where everything was lost and found, the train platform. They stepped onto the empty platform at dusk, the same spot where everything had unraveled 3 years ago.
This is where I lost it, and where you found me.
He knelt on the very spot, the worn wallet in his hands, and opened it to reveal 2 notes side by side. Beside his mother's yellowed note lay a fresh sheet, his handwriting on it.
I want to spend my life returning the love you kept for me. Will you marry me?
Hana's hands flew to her face, tears falling before she could speak.
Yes, yes. 1,000 times, yes.
She pulled him up and into her arms, the open wallet pressed between their hearts. The 2 notes lay together. I will always be with you. And beneath it, I want to return that love. The platform that had once scattered his life now held the moment it became whole. They returned to her grave together, leaving fresh flowers and a copy of the note.
I'll take care of him, and I'll never forget your words.
Kenta's father, upon hearing the whole story, held the note and wept.
She saved it for 3 years, Dad. She's why we can all read it today.
Hana's estranged sister arrived, asking to see the note that had pulled her sister through.
She read it and said she finally understood why I held on so long.
At the rehearsal dinner, The wallet was passed from hand to hand, the ink touched like something sacred.
Tomorrow, Mom's words will open the ceremony. She'll be with us.
They stood in the empty venue that night, the framed original note resting on the altar. The wedding day had come. The note waited to speak one last time. Kenta and Hana stood before everyone who mattered, the framed note on a small stand between them. The officiant unfolded the yellowed paper and read aloud the words that had traveled so far. I will always be with you. Love, Mom. Silence held the room. Then tears fell, starting with Hana, then Kenta, then rippling through the guests. They exchanged rings, each one etched inside with the same promise. I will always be with you.
I wrote something too. Thank you for lending me your mother's love. Now I will give my own.
Kenta pulled her into him, and the two notes pressed together between them. Mother and son now a complete circle. The guests rose, not just to applaud, but to honor the love that had refused to die. They were married, and his mother was there in every word. A long table held the framed original note beside Hana's new one. Guests paused, reading the ink that had traveled so far. Some touched the glass with trembling fingers. Others wiped their eyes. The wallet passed quietly among them. Kenta's father raised his glass. Her love reached farther than she knew, he said, his voice breaking. Kenta and Hana took the floor for their first dance, their foreheads nearly touching, the note's words spinning around them.
This is ours now. Not just the note. Everything.
They slipped out the back, hand in hand, into the quiet garden. Under the fairy lights, they opened the wallet and read the note once more, just the two of them.
Every anniversary, we'll read it. A promise to remember where we started.
Inside, the note remained on display, a testament that love, once given, never really ends. And outside, the newlyweds held each other, the note folded over their hearts. They arrived in a quiet seaside town, the salt air clearing the last of the wedding dust. The copy of the note was carefully folded in Hana's bag. One evening, as the sun sank low over the water in shades of gold and pink, they found a secluded beach and sat with a fresh sheet of paper.
What should we write? A message for someone we'll never meet.
That love finds a way, even through the longest years.
Together, they wrote a new note, their hands overlapping as the ink formed their hope for whoever might find it. They sealed the bottle tightly. The note curled inside like a secret message. Kenta waded into the shallows and threw it as far as he could.
Maybe someday, someone else will read these words and feel less alone.
They stood on the shore, the bottle a tiny speck, their fingers laced together. The honeymoon ended, but the note's promise sailed forward. A message sent into the unknown, carrying the words that had already saved 2 lives. Back in their new house, they hung the framed note by the front door, right where morning light would catch the ink each day.
Right here, so we see it every time we come and go. A reminder.
From then on, every morning, they paused together and touched the glass before stepping out.
Thank you, Mom, for giving us your blessing.
And for showing me that love isn't just for one person.
Then they'd smile and shuffle into the kitchen, where the smell of burnt pancakes filled the air.
You are still burning pancakes, I see.
It's my signature dish. The breakfast of love.
Out the door they went, hand in hand, the note a silent guardian behind them. And in the entryway, the words waited, glowing softly, carrying the promise of home. They returned to the same coffee shop 1 year later, the same table by the window. They ordered the same coffees and smiled at the memory.
Remember when we first sat here? I could barely look at the note.
And now it's the center of our life.
He took out the worn wallet, the note still folded inside, though the edges were softer now.
I will always be with you. Love, Mom.
Every time you read it, it sounds different. Deeper.
Because it's not just hers anymore. It's ours, too.
We read it at the wedding. We'll read it every year.
Until we're old and the ink has faded.
They sat in silence, hands clasped, the note between them, the coffee growing cold again. A perfect echo of the first day. Years later, a new copy of the note hung in the nursery, its frame small and bright. Their daughter stood on tiptoes, reaching for it, and Hana lifted her so she could touch the glass. With her tiny hand on it, she whispered, "Thank you, Grandma."
I'll teach you to read it when you are older.
Your love started all of this, and now she's part of it.
They stood together, a family of three, around the old wallet and the newer frame. The note, now yellowed and fragile, had traveled from a platform to a wedding, from a dashboard to a nursery. Love is never really lost. It just finds new hands to hold. The child traced her mother's writing and laughed, as if she already knew. And the note remained, the heart of their home, a promise passed down. In the entryway, the original note hung in its frame, the morning sunlight catching the ink and making it glow. The words seemed alive, holding the warmth of a promise that had outlasted years. Kenta, Hana, and their little girl paused at the door as they did each morning. Their fingers brushed the glass. A quiet goodbye to the woman who had never truly left. "I will always be with you." "Love, Mom." Then they stepped out into the morning, the door closing softly on the note, still glowing. The door closed, and the house fell quiet, but the promise remained. Some words are never lost. They only find new hearts to hold. The family walked down the lane, hand in hand, a story trailing behind them like light. "I will always be with you."